Hi guys, welcome to the second episode in my Instagram live series. We are gonna wait for a second to let some people get in here, and we're gonna go from there. We're looking for Miss Donna Moss. Okay. View request. Hi.
Did it.
You did it. I did it too, and I can hear you. I'm like, oh my
Wait.
God.
Let me turn my volume up. I can't hear you. Wait, go. Okay. Hello. How are you?
Welcome to
Thank
episode 2 in my series of Happy Hour with Danny Russo. This is my guest, Donna Moss, and we are going to be talking about a few things. We've been friends for a while, and I lovingly referred to you as Madonna yesterday, and I don't know if you picked up on that, but you've been on your reinvention tour, kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, she's real. If I'm Madonna, it totally changed my whole.
So we're going to be making a French 75 cocktail today. And I know Donna loves champagne, so we're going to give you the history behind the bubbles. Donna can find champagne at anywhere she goes. I can find wine, she finds the champagne, and together we just make things happen. So a French 75, I don't know.
I was so excited about this cocktail because I don't drink gin, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, so I can't wait.
So do you know why it is what it is? So the French 75 is named for the fast-firing 75-millimeter field gun that was utilized during World War I.
No
And you're
way.
in Texas. I know you guys love your guns.
How does champagne and guns in Texas work? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, guns, Texas, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It was real big during Prohibition, and that's when the drink originally came about. So teaching you how to make it real quick, you're going to want a chilled martini shaker, and you are going to want 1 ounce of gin. We are using Plymouth gin from Plymouth Rock or something like that. And then I have simple syrup ready made here. We are going to I put too much, but we want 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. We want a freshly squozen lemon. Squozen. I like making up my own verbiage. Freshly squozen. Squeezed. Freshly squeezed.
You're King Danny. However Danny says it, that's the way it is.
I don't know how they signed me up for this, and I'm like, I after this series, I can be a great bartender.
So if you ever lose your main job, you have something to fall back on.
Right. So we want to shake this concoction up. Okay. Get it nice and cold and chilled, and then we have our champagne flute. We're gonna pour it in. Am I doing this right? Oh, this coffee is so cold.
You're
this
just
so
so
good.
smooth.
I know, right?
You've done this before.
I have. I have a trainer. Of course, I got champagne, black and gold, to match my aesthetic.
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be expensive. It could be whatever. So we're going to open it up. The last time I opened champagne, I had a little bit of a... And pouring champagne, you always want to pour it to the side. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And garnish with what do we call this? A zest of lime.
Ooh la la, so Frenchy.
So cheers.
Okay, I have my version too, so you're not drinking alone.
Okay,
okay, look,
well.
I have like a whole load.
Are those all for you?
Just in case we run long, because I know you love to talk. But I did the same thing. I've never had gin before. Okay,
really?
So I wasn't sure. So I went and bought a little bitty bottle of Hennessy and tried it yesterday, and I loved it. So I went and bought the big the Hendrix that they had recommended.
Oh, that's really good.
But then I gave mine a little razzle dazzle, and I added this limoncello to it.
That's very Italian.
And raspberries.
Ooh.
So I don't know if it's still a French, classic French 75, but.
It's with the Donna twist. So how have you been? I feel like I'm having deja vu. I got to see you in January.
Yes.
And you have.
And we'll get to see each other again next month.
Yes. Well,
wait, yeah.
Vegas, April.
It's
almost March.
Okay, yeah. Can you believe it? Spring. You know, I thought last week I had died and moved to Ohio.
I've been thinking of you. Why?
Oh my
Tell me
gosh,
why. Tell me more.
Well, the reason I left Indiana, where I grew up, is to get away from ice and snow. And it was like the snowpocalypse here. It was crazy.
Did you have power?
We lost power for 2 nights and off and on for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
My daughter-in-law, my son and his wife are living with us right now while they're finishing building their house. And she was going to have her baby today. Well, she actually was going to have it last Thursday, but because
I remember
it's
you telling me that.
Yes, so we changed the inducement till today, and
Did
but
she
we
have
were able
it?
to. That's a whole other story.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
The hospital canceled it today, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. So we were able to get a hotel one night. We were so scared with her being so pregnant and her 2-year-old. All the hotels were booked.
Yeah.
I think it was a Days Inn had raised their prices to $800 a night, but we were able to go to Lowe's Live, which is the new.
I
for
stayed
one
there.
night.
I stayed there.
Oh, isn't it nice? Oh,
Okay,
that's
outside
right,
the Cowboy Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Rangers Stadium.
Yeah, there's a really cool bar in there, and they had live music. Really cool.
Yeah, so
Arlington.
Yep. And that's where I live, so it really wasn't that far. It was scary driving there because it was, by the time we got a hotel, Katie and I and their 2-year-old, and then we had my 7-year-old granddaughter with us. The guys had to stay here and sleep in front of the fireplace.
So you're like, bye, you guys stay here, we're going to the hotel.
We couldn't get them a room, so yeah, they got.
I'm surprised you didn't just end up at a spa.
Yeah, we called room service, and we just enjoyed it until the next day, and then it all started over again.
Ice.
But we were fortunate. So many people, they had pipes burst and everything else, and one of my daughters never lost her power. The other daughter lost it the whole week. So
wow.
It was insane.
So, I'm glad you're okay.
Back to the subject of your show.
I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you. Cheers
I've
to
been
that.
I've been warned to watch my time and my
Oh, okay.
my language. So we're gonna do exactly what we did. So we're gonna talk about you, not me. Enough about me. Let's talk about me some more.
We're gonna talk about us.
Yeah.
It's about us.
So we met 3-4 years ago, and
At High Point.
BFFs. We were friends online. Yeah, we met in the Zuo showroom.
Yeah, they were having a big party.
I remember that.
Well, it was we had that Design Star reunion.
Yes.
Was that the night?
That was the night, and I don't know how I crashed it. No, it was the night before. We met the night before.
Okay.
Somehow I ended up in that group. I don't know how, but you were. Tell us that story. You were I call you the OG of interior design. Do you know what that means?
Is that old girl? Old
original
grandma?
gangster.
What is OG?
No, original gangster.
Oh.
The original gangster of design television, and you were on season 1 of Design. It was called Design Star back then, right? Yes,
Design Star, and actually they're doing another Design Star that starts like anytime.
Oh wow!
So they I think it's Discovery Plus, but yeah. So I was on the very first season of Design Star, and that was so terrifying. But you
have some really good stories, because didn't you drive your audition tape up to?
No, I flew it.
You flew it.
I flew with it.
And you hand delivered it
directly to the production company. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got on.
I did, and I think that helped, because they kept asking me to do different things, and do it like now. And I think it was just a test to see if you could really do things. And I mean,
Yeah.
it was simple stuff, but it was like, get us a 17 by 24 picture of your latest project. And so I'd run to Walgreens and get something blown up and send it. But so the final thing was the 2 audition tapes that I had to do.
Yeah.
And the first one, I just put it in FedEx and sent it to them. And then the second one, I thought, well, if I really want to impress them, and I was a flight attendant for 30 years.
I remember.
So I could hop on a plane and go.
You were Miss American Airways way back. You flew on the Concorde. I tell Hayden that all the time.
Now you're really making me
I'm kidding,
old girl.
No, original gangsta. So your career, and when I said Madonna, I call myself when I'm drunk Madonna. Madonna.
You've been drinking your.
I just recorded 2 podcasts called Design Exchange. Follow that. So we just had 2 hours of recording that, and I had to rush home to get to this. But anyway, you've reinvented yourself over your career, in my opinion. I've stayed at your house. I've seen your original aesthetic, and I've seen it progress to what was old Donna and new Donna. So
Old world to new world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you made it very fresh and funky, and it's the evolution of a designer, technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, you're exactly right, because I have reinvented myself over the years. And, back in like the Design Star era, and then on to Donna Decorates Dallas, which was my show for 2 years, what was really hot here in Texas was old world style.
yeah.
And this kind of a classic look, in a way, European, kind of, because that's kind of where the show goes, right? Because of the
Right.
drink. But I mean, that's what everybody wanted, and I loved it. My house was old world, rich burgundies, big columns, just the whole kit and caboodle of old world. And then so
it's the Italianate. I call it the Youngstown thing, because that's every Italian in Youngstown, Ohio, has that same, the old world Tuscany.
Oh, they do?
Aesthetic.
Okay. Still?
Yeah, I'll explain it to you on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun. So tell us about this book that I heard you have.
Oh.
You've worked a very long time. You've been in the industry for, I'm not going to say how many years, but you've been in the industry.
I don't know if you were even born when I started.
Well, I wasn't born until 1998.
Well, okay.
That's not true.
Then,
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, you've already said, you've said over and over that I'm your design mama.
Mom, yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So basically my career started in 1995, or maybe even actually a little bit before that. I really started doing show homes, and that's how I got noticed in my little world here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the first show house I did was almost 10,000 square feet, and I did it all myself. And I didn't know anybody in the industry. So I'm all self-taught.
That's a lot of work.
I tell you, I lost 15 pounds. 15 pounds.
Well,
So that was the good thing.
Doing that many square feet on your own, or doing it with 15 designers? Like, I don't know which is worse.
Yeah.
Because then you're managing.
I'm not sure. Well, actually, the book, going back to the book, because I mean, that's why I do show houses, because I've got a really soft spot in my heart, because that's how I got my start. And so every now and then I'll do a show home, and the book is called Best of Show. And it's about 4 show houses that.
And you've done all 4 of these.
I've done all 4 of these, and each one different styles, different designers. The first one that's in the book was just me and my 2 daughters, because Tiffany and Ashley, my 2 daughters, work with me in my design business, and they were on my television show. And so the first one was with them in Fort Worth, with Fort Worth Magazine. The second one was with Traditional Home Magazine. And that was another 10,000 square foot house. And we had Googles of designers doing that. I did the kitchen, the indoor kitchen, the outdoor kitchen, the bar area. And each designer, I think there were a total, with groups of designers, about 20 designers in that house. and then the one with you.
So that's where you learned the first two that you didn't want to do the outdoor. So she put me in the 110-degree weather to do the outdoor space to make sure that Danny melted.
Well, actually, only the plants really melted. Remember
The
that
plants
one
did
plant?
melt. I forgot about that.
It just
I think we all learned together we can't use dried carp as an outdoor decoration in Texas because it will melt.
Yeah. Unless you do the show house in the winter time when it will freeze.
Yes, that would be perfect. So, where can people find your book? I know we're going to be in Vegas together. Are we launching the book in Vegas?
Well, we're going to start in Dallas during Design Week. Design Week now, because with COVID everything has kind of changed. Design Week starts, I think, April 5th. And that's the day after Easter. So I'm hoping that,
so basically she's telling me I need to be in Dallas the day after Easter.
It would be awesome if you did. So I'm not sure which showrooms yet we're going to be at. We're Uttermost is talking to us about doing a book signing in their showroom. And of course, Botanical Mix is in the book. So we'll probably, everyone's a little concerned about COVID still. So, and the same in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is, I think, the third week in April. So we know we're doing Olivia Regal's showroom. We're going to have a book signing.
When's on Vegas? April 11th through the 15th is April market. So Dallas Design Week. I'm in Vegas. I know we're booked for Vegas.
Okay. Are you sure you're on the right dates? Because I know.
Yeah. Adrian was ready to kill me because I had to change it 3 times. But when are we going into Vegas? The 9th. We'll be there the 9th through the 14th.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay, so
yes.
I'll look at those dates because I haven't confirmed. I know we're going to be at Olivia Regal and maybe another showroom. So what I'll do is I'll let you and everybody know so we can start posting what dates it's going to be. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And, people, so we'll have the signed copies at the showrooms. But the book will also be available on Amazon.com and at select bookstores. Yeah. So as soon as we get it in.
Did I hear correctly? You're already selling in London or the UK. Yes, the book is available. We sold some in the UK. I'm in the book. We didn't mention that part, but enough about me.
We will, though. We will. I've got all these little things.
I know. I'm like, you're interviewing Donna, and I'm like, I don't even need to write anything down. And they're like, you're going to go off script. I'm like, I'm aware.
Yeah, you and I were 2 loose wires. And, I've been on TV several times, but I could never be an actress because I can't learn lines. I just have to
lines. I can't.
Yeah. They'll say this, and then I'll say something totally different, and it's like, well, that's what I heard in my mind. But
how'd you go from flight attendant to? How'd you transition from being a flight attendant into interior design?
Well, it was pretty easy actually because I started flying in the early '80s.
Oh, when it was glamorous still.
It was still very glamorous. Yes, it was wonderful.
Did you work for Braniff Air?
No, I worked for American Air.
Okay.
But Braniff had just gone under or was in the process of going under when I started at American.
They had the Gucci uniforms.
I know.
Way back when.
Yeah, we always had the frumpy stuff. But, Southwest Airlines, Braniff, they had the cute ones. But the good thing was because of Braniff going out of business early in my career, we were doing a lot of hiring. So I really rose up pretty high, pretty quick in the airlines. So I was able to get rid of my trips if I wanted to. That's the thing about being a flight attendant. You can work as much as you want or as little as you want. So Am I in the wrong job? No, it's different.
I know.
Don't be. Yeah, no. Although you would be a perfect flight attendant.
I don't know. No. People would ask me for something. I'd be like, go get it. It's back there.
You'd be cussing them out. I know. You'd be pouring the champagne on their head.
No, I'd be drinking the champagne.
Well, true. He's in the bathroom with a bottle of champagne. Go get Danny.
God.
No,
But anyway, so you
so I was
transitioned in the
able to
90s.
fly on the weekends, and I'd work my interior design business during the week, and plus take care of the kids and all that. But
you had a really cute store too. You told me
we
about.
did.
What was it called?
It's called That's Hot, and we spelled
That's
it
Hot.
Haute.
Haute.
Haute. Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is because that was after my Design Star stint and before my Donna Decorates Dallas on HGTV. So I had my store, and I ran my business out of the store. My daughters both worked at the store, and so when HGTV found out what I was doing and they started talking about doing a show, I wanted to name the show either That's Hot or, well, I wanted to name it That's Hot, but Paris Hilton owns the right to the term
I know.
hot, even though hers is HOT. So it's like, no, we can't do that. And so at HGTV, I don't know who decided on this, but the producer of the show called me one day because we couldn't come up with a name for Donna Decorates Dallas. So called me one day. I was driving, and she said, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I'm driving. Should I pull over?" And she said, "Yes." So I pulled over, and she said, "We've got a name for your show." And I'm like, "Oh no." I mean, I was scared because she was telling me to pull over. And so they wanted to name it Donna Does Dallas.
I love that.
I wanted to name your show Danny Does Dallas, but that
I
made
wanted to
more sense.
too, and they changed it to Danny Does Design. I like both of the names.
Yes.
I totally was going with Danny Does Dallas. But we're both good Christian people. So
you are? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic, Christian, same thing.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Hey, I'm on my, how many of these do I have to drink before, the show's over?
I don't even know where we're at time. We're at 22 minutes.
Okay.
We're good. I'm happy we did this. Like,
I am too.
I actually figured this out. You figured it out quick. I have Adrian's here, and she's like on it. She's like, you gotta get on the thing. You have to get on that. I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. But
yeah, I was texting like 2 minutes before it started. I'm like, how do I get notified? Don't worry, you'll get notified. Okay.
So, do we want to talk about HDTV?
Yes, of course, because your show is going to be on HDTV, Home Design Television.
Home Design Television. HomeDesignTV.com. You can sign up and follow it there. But you own the network, right?
I do. I'm a part owner with a couple other people, and the whole idea of Home Design Television is we wanted to do a shoppable network. And it's been a lot more difficult than I realized to actually make it shoppable. So and then, we were getting close last year to getting it all done, and then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. But we're getting there, and we've filmed your entire.
You have three. You have
season.
3 seasons. You have 3 seasons of Best of Show ready to go, don't you?
Yes. Well, we've got 3 seasons up on the website, bits and pieces. We don't have the entire 3 seasons totally done, but we do have bits and pieces of all of them, so you can kind of get an idea of where we're going with it.
I ended up coming down during the pandemic, not even knowing what we were doing, and we were just going to do a sizzle reel, and then we got lucky, and somehow we turned into 8 to 10 episodes.
I think it's going to be so awesome.
But I mean, that was the funnest. That was probably the funnest, craziest thing I've done in my entire life.
And what I love about what's going to happen with your show, it's a beginning and an end. And
it is.
You see that the before of what that house looked like, and then the end. Where ours is, mine right now, what I feel like with mine, it's a mixed match of a show house here, a show house there, a show house here. So we're trying to get it refined, but yours will be a full.
Oh yeah, we had the real drama. We had real drama unfolding on site and behind the scenes.
And the after is just amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, you're just fun to watch on home. Wait, what's this called? At home with Danny? At home with, what's this?
This is what is this called,
Adrian?
Happy hour with Danny. Happy hour at home with Danny, I think. right?
Love it, love it. Well, what I really love about what you're doing is because, like, I watched last month that, you know, you have different cocktails that have to do with design concepts. And I think
I
that is
know.
just,
And you were the perfect for a champagne, French 75, sophisticated, something to do with guns, Texas. I don't know. I like had to read the history, and it's like Prohibition, and it's like, this is the perfect cocktail for brunch. And I'm like, I can't read all this. I'm
well,
like,
you know, like
it
I
has
said earlier,
alcohol.
I think I love this drink. When I tested it yesterday, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go buy a whole bottle of gin now because I don't drink gin, but it's really,
So my
really
client, one of my amazing clients, I don't know if she's watching or not, but her house, she loves
an
gin.
amazing
She's a
class.
gin drinker. Her house is in the book.
It is.
Yeah,
Let's look.
she's on the first spread.
Okay.
And we couldn't get in to get pictures ready that were properly done for a book. Luckily, Pam let us in one day. But I have to photograph my work more. But her bathroom and her main room. Yes, that's her amazing chandelier. My head.
Oh, so this is her house?
That's her
This is her
breakfast
house?
area. Yes, that's her house.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And
She's like, when are you
what,
sending me the pictures? I'm like, I'm going to send you the book.
well,
But
the
that's
book's
her.
not in yet. So that's
I
why,
know.
you know, even the people, like you said, in Europe, and I think the UK.
Yes.
Wait, is Europe the UK?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Donna.
I'm having a champagne moment. I'm sorry.
Europe is in
But-
the UK, or the UK is in Europe. London, France, blah, blah, blah. It's all Europe.
Well, they bought the book, but they haven't got it because nobody's got it yet except
Didn't
me.
they have the other? Melinda has the book. Melinda won the book.
Yes.
Melinda won the book from our Instagram, and she goes, "You won't believe this." And I was laying in bed that night after me and you filmed, and I'm looking at it, and there was like, "Congratulations, Melinda," and I'm like, "Do you know?" I texted her. I go, "Do you know you won the book?" And she goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." I go, "They picked you. You won the book." I go, "You're gonna have my book before I have it."
Has she shared it with you?
Yeah, she brought it over, and I got to dig through it a little bit. She's very protective of the book. She took around. I only got to see it for like 30 minutes. We were recording a podcast, The Design Exchange, and she took the book away. But I'm really happy with it.
Well,
but yeah,
good.
it's going to be on Amazon, right?
Yeah, it'll be on Amazon.com and certain bookstores. I don't know which bookstores yet. We're working on that right now. So as soon as we get all the details.
Are bookstores still a thing? I haven't been in a store. Is Barnes and Noble still open? Oh, okay. Adrian Fisher.
I want to say, is there one called Rizzoli's or something? It must be on
Rizzoli's. Rizzoli's is they have a big store in New York, and they're big on coffee table books. The book's a coffee table book. We should specify that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it is a coffee table book. And,
I'm honored to be part of the lineup. You have all of your most amazing friends.
Well, you know,
it's
on your last At Home with Danny, or whatever
Happy
this
Hour
show
with Danny
is.
Russo.
But, you know, you were talking to your guest, the artist, which he's amazing.
Yes,
Brandon, and you were talking about how it used to be that designers didn't
communicate.
along with it. Yeah,
we just did a
and
podcast
everybody
about
was.
that.
Yeah, and what I love.
They didn't talk to each other.
No, it was like you were the enemy if you were another designer. And
exactly.
And the last few years, designers have really made a 360-degree change. And one thing I wanted to do in this book is make sure that I included some of my designer friends, because I mean, we're all fighting the same things. We're all, you know, we have, and you know, I love the design community, and I love that I'm able to bring this book together. That's got, you know, the 4 show houses, but then it's got, you know, my daughters as designers. The Traditional Home Show House has Sherry Hayslett, who does amazing classical
Sherry's
design.
amazing. Ashley Moss.
Ashley Moss.
Kitchen and bath.
Yeah. So let me show you a little bit about the book really quick, because you know, this is the first house that's in the book, and it's a very French house, and
French country.
Kind of country French, but you know, it's a little bit more of a class. I would say it's classical French, because it's got a, you know, classical design is kind of traditional design, but its roots are really European.
Neoclassical kind of ish.
Yeah, Europe, England and France, and that's kind of where it all began. So the first show house in the book is kind of a French. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to. I don't want to show too much of the book, but I do want to kind of give highlights. So, my daughter Tiffany.
I love Tiffany.
Yeah, so she's in the book. My other daughter Ashley and her home. And what I wanted to do too is make sure that like you have some pictures at your home in the book too, right?
I do, and it doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my dining room's in there, but if you look behind me, that doesn't look like my dining room that's in the book because we changed it.
Is that a Global Views rug?
That is a Global Views rug.
I love it.
It's an Arterials light. Mitchell gold chairs that I just had recovered in burgundy.
Ooh, well, what I love about your design, it's so like dark and moody, I think was your last show. And everything in the book that you've done, it's just, it's dark, but it's rich and it's
I try to be timeless.
And that's exactly yes. And that's what classical design really is, or classic design, because it's not really a design style. It's just it's a
way
timeless. Exactly. Okay, so here's the traditional home show house. This is one of the things. I really have I have a point here. Okay, so classical design, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, so one of the designers that participated in the traditional home show house did this room here. And I think that's the epitome of classical design, because it's kind of that Renaissance, and with classical design, there's columns and there's bust and crystal chandeliers. Look at that.
They're making a comeback.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you on a little journey here. Sherry Hayslip, she's got a lot of her stuff in the book, but she's very classical in the way she designs as well. And this is you'll remember this name. This is this is the show house that you did with us, and look at that. Like,
I love that mural. She added purple Ray-Bans to Michelangelo.
No, those were part of it. What they did is they added a little diaper to.
I remember that. Oh my God.
So nobody was offended. But so the traditional home show house, we've got Farrah Queen. We've got who's amazing. I mean, she's got a very eclectic look to her designs. Beautiful. She designed Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert's home, and I think a bed and breakfast that they did. So she's in the book. And then when we go to this house,
Shane Frison, who from Mechanical Mix. Shane's in the book, right?
Shane's in the book.
I can't say his last name. Shane Frison.
Here's another house that we did.
Who's that woman we know from Desperate Housewives? No, Real Housewives. The woman with the dog.
I don't know.
Jill Zarin. She's in the book. Jill Zarin.
Oh, yeah. yes. How could I forget that? So the Las Vegas house that we did, like the traditional home show, the Fort Worth show house, you were in. We've got Sherry Hayslip again, Kim Bailey, but then in the Las Vegas show house, Kimberly Joy and I did that together, and we had Jill Zarin from the Housewives and
Sabrina Soto.
Oh yeah, Sabrina Soto. Yes. So,
I tried to get to that show house, but we got left at the bus stop.
This is that show house, so it's very modern.
Yeah.
And that was a very large house too. Yeah, that was a nightmare getting people to that house.
I know. I ended up going to dinner and buying an Alexander McQueen bag.
Do what?
I ended up going to the Bellagio, not the Bellagio. I ended up going to the Palazzo and buying an Alexander McQueen bag.
I could have saved you so much money.
You could have, but you didn't. We were left at the bus stop. No, it was fun.
It was not my fault, and I apologize
No, I
again
know.
to everyone who did not make it. We had a lot of people make it, but it was very confusing on where the buses were going to be. And with that show house, some show houses, you don't have a homeowner. I think that was the only one in all of the 4 that I'm showing you this book that we had a homeowner involved.
Yeah.
And they were a little bit crazy about having people come, even though they knew it was a show house and that's what it was all about. But you know what? The best thing about doing a show house to me is that we raise money for charities. And let me tell you, the traditional home show house, let me show you that house, which I'm really proud of that house because my husband and I built it. By
the way, Paul is Donna's husband. They're most amazing people. I've stayed at their house. Donna introduced me to Whataburger, and it changed my life. I mean, every time I'm in Texas.
Ohio, so you got to come back to Texas.
But every time I land in Texas, Whataburger somehow ends up delivered or drive-through, airport. I have all the Whataburgers plotted out in my mind.
Well, that's like me when I used to go to California. The first place I'd hit was In-N-Out Burger. But now that we have In-N-Out Burger here in Texas, it's not that big a deal. Well, here's the traditional home show house. So this is in the book too. This is the one my husband and I did. Almost 10,000 square feet. We raised almost $90,000 for the Alzheimer's Association through that show house.
Wow. That's
so
amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah. So that
me and you, hopefully they're saving some of that money for me and you because we're going to be the 2 people that have that. I'm just kidding.
Don't say that. Don't say. No. My husband's mother and father during the show house, just before that particular show house, his mother passed away from Alzheimer's.
Oh.
His brother committed suicide the day before one of the other show houses, and then his father passed away from Alzheimer's. So it was really a tough time for all that. But I'm really excited that you're a part of this book, Danny. I don't want to give away too much of the book, but
I know. And HDTV, it's coming out. We promise. It's
HDTV.
HDTV. I say that. I say HDTV.
I get confused. I guess it's the Alzheimer's kicking in, but I'll say HGTV. And
well, you've done both. I'm more of an HBO, Netflix kind of personality. So,
hey, you know what I'm loving right now is Discovery Plus. Have you?
I know, and your show's on there. I've not. I mean, that just came out. I don't watch TV. Like that would be my tagline. I don't watch reality TV. I am reality TV. But I don't. I mean, I watch documentaries. I'm a weirdo when it comes. Like I have the most useless information. Yeah, but I watched the Braniff Airways documentary, so I could tell you all about Braniff Airways. And like I'll watch the American. Like I don't know. I'm just weird.
You know, a good documentary to watch next month. Yeah, Bunny Williams. Do you know that
I know
designer?
her. Yes.
So she's the epitome of classical design. And she's got a documentary coming out next month on, I think, PBS.
I heard about that.
Fascinating.
I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
I watch things like Dateline. I tell my husband, if you ever murder me, I'm going to know exactly how you did it and when and why, because I'm not watching on Dateline.
My God.
That Wheel of Fortune, does that give me away as far as...
Wheel of Fortune, is that still on?
Yes, it is. They have to stay 6 feet apart when they spin the wheel, but yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, this has been great. If you guys have any questions for me and Donna, we're going to repost this if I can figure out how to, but ask them in the feed and we will try to get back to you. Thank you guys all for joining. Donna, thank you so much for I'm like, wait, this is my show. Donna, thank you so much for having me. Donna, thank you so much for being on.
Is it over? Wait a minute. I still have 4 more things to drink.
Well, shots. I mean, we could go another 5 minutes. Do you have
No,
anything else you want to talk about?
So we'll go back to the beginning when you asked about my daughter-in-law. So she was supposed to be induced last week.
Yeah.
So today the storm's over. She was going to be induced this morning. The doctor called her this morning and said, I had too many C-sections last night, so we're canceling your inducing today. We were going to have a baby. We would have had a baby by now. This will be my number 7 grandbaby. And they canceled it. They said, well, they said, can you come in the afternoon instead of 6 a.m.? We all got up at the crack of dawn to see her off.
Is this Kyle's? Is this Kyle's?
Yes, this is Kyle's wife, Katie. And they're living in our guest
house. Second or their
house.
third? Second or
this
third?
Is her second boy. This little boy will be named Callan. And so now they postponed it till tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll have a new grandbaby unless they
congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
You don't look a day over 31.
Be careful.
Be careful.
I love that. Okay, I'll take it. I know it's not true, but thank you.
It's true. Shut up. I'm only 22.
Oh. Then I'm only 39.
29.
Wait, I'll be 29. If I can choose, I'll be 29.
My birthday's coming up, and last year I got a pandemic for my birthday. Literally the Monday of my birthday, everything closed. So hopefully this year's going to be better.
Okay, in advance, what day is your birthday so I don't forget it?
March 23rd. I think it's a Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. It was on a Monday last year. Adrian's in the background. Is my birthday on a Tuesday? March 23rd? It's March 23rd. Me and Joan Crawford.
Really?
On Tuesday. Me and Joan Crawford have the same birthday.
Oh, I think mine is the same as that dictator in China, whatever his name is.
Of course it is. Who's the dictator in China? I think she's talking about the Korean dictator Kim Jong-il.
Maybe. I just read it in a book yesterday. I was at the store and I saw a book because I love coffee table books. And so it was about birthdays. And so I opened it up to my birthday, August 24th. And it was like a Chinese dictator and me both had the same birthday. I'm like, okay. And I closed it up and left.
I love our conversations. We've covered the entire world.
Yes. I don't know if anyone out there is getting anything out of this, but Danny and I are loving it. So.
Oh, it was meant to be.
Okay,
but anyway,
so
the
book comes out in April. We're going to be in Design Week signing books. We're going to be in Las Vegas signing books, Amazon.com. Danny's show will be out very shortly, probably within the next maybe month and a half, 2 months on home design television.
Something about that.
Yeah, they're working on editing it right now, so it's going to be fabulous. And
I know I'm entertaining. I know that much. But my God, they don't have to do much editing because.
Well, you're entertaining, but you're also a fabulous designer. That's the main thing. And I think when people get this book and see your design style, now I know the show house that you did on the outside was not necessarily what you and Trish, who steals you from me.
Well, I was doing another show house at the time. And they didn't want me to leave. And I'm like, I have to go and take this opportunity. And then I don't know if you purposely planned the missing furniture. I don't know if you planned the tornado while I landed and I had to be undercut. I had to shelter in place in the McDonald's.
That's when we needed cameras following you.
Oh, that show house was a show within a show within a show.
Well, I tell you, Uttermost and Revelation, they were a lifesaver because
I love them. I can see them every time.
Everything out there was from them, and that's where we're going to do our book signing during Design Week. So I hope you can make it.
Can I go to Texas the day after Easter, please? She's going to kill me. Sunday, April 7th is Easter. All right. Love you. I will talk to you soon.
Well, cheers to classic French 75.
I switched my drink. A French 75.
Mine's a French 79.
I'm double fisting right now.
Okay. I'll go to my third and I'll be double. Cheers.
Donna, you can follow Donna on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Her website is, what's your website? You just redid it.
DonnaMossDesigns.com. And it's
DonnaMossDesigns.com.
going to be shoppable very soon. Well, maybe not very soon. Nothing in my life happens very soon.
I know, same with me. My website will be shoppable very soon. It was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but it's just very soon.
See, cheers. We're in the same boat here. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for having me on your show. I've had so much fun. I love you.
I love you too. See you soon. Mwah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I'll take another sip while we're still on.